To cut to the chase at the start of the video, Super Flash takes longer on the PlayStation 4 version of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 than it does in the Xbox 360 version. Now, before everybody starts getting really concerned, I'd like to point out a couple of things. First of all, I don't have this in the PlayStation 3, so I don't know if this also happens on the PlayStation 3 version. However, I suspect it does. The reason is because I have the PlayStation Vita version of the game as well, and I know for a fact that it also takes longer on the Vita version than it does on the 360 version. So there is a chance that people are already playing at tournaments on the PS3 version of this game and experiencing this. I just thought I'd call it out that this also happens on the PS4. In regards to how I tested it, I'm using a Cronus Max Plus and an Elgato HD60. For those who don't know, the Cronus Max is essentially a miniature taskbot. It's not exactly perfect, as I can't monitor frame advance and therefore get frame-perfect inputs, but I can get the next best thing, which is 100% consistent inputs. Basically, this means that while I can't perfectly input a frame every single time that I want to, I can always consistently throw the inputs towards the machine, and I should expect more or less the same results. If we go in nice and slow, you can see that the PS4 actually takes an extra 4 frames to pull off the Super Flash of Wolverine's Transformation Super than it does on the 360. As a result, the rest of the combo gets thrown out of whack. To a human player, this difference is probably negligible, because at the end of the day, we're going to be using visual stimulus as well as muscle memory to get our combos down, so this isn't massive, but it does show that if you were solely relying on your muscle memory, you're probably in for a bad time. Again, I'd like to reiterate I'm not super concerned about this for competitive on the PS4, because I'm fairly certain the PS3 also has a fair amount of flash on it too. Again, I have no way to confirm this because I don't have a PS3 to test with, but if I had to hazard a guess, the Vita version lags, the PS4 version lags, the Xbox doesn't. That's 2 for 3 Sony systems affected by lag compared to the Xbox version, so I'd have to imagine that the PS3 has it to some degree. That said, I suspect it's probably not as bad as the Vita, and the PS4 is probably not as bad as the PS3, so if anything, this is an upgrade from the PS3. But at the end of the day, it's still not running as good as the 360, so just something to bear in mind, that if your muscle memory isn't working so well on the PS4, and you came from a 360, that might be the reason why. A friend of mine does have the game on the PS3, so I'll see if I can't get him to bring the thing over here and we can do some more testing. As well as I'll probably do another update when the PC and Xbox One version of the game comes out and see how it affects them. That said, I don't know if I'll actually get to test the Xbox One because that would require me actually finding someone who owns the thing. I thought I'd bring this to light and point out that it's probably not a huge deal before somebody made a huge stink about it. If it turns out that the PS3 is also as lagless as the 360, though, I mean, I'll throw all this out the window and say the PS4 version probably needs some fine-tuning, but for now, I wouldn't worry too much. Oh, right, and Wright's papers sound like things breaking, Frank's plungers sound like zombies, and Frank's zombies sound like nothing. Capcom Blitzfix.